Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Continuing with the BJCP style guidelines, we're on style 23B, Flanders Red Ale. Overall impression, a sour, fruity, red wine-like Belgian style ale with interesting supportive malt flavors and fruit complexity. The dry finish and tannin complements the mental image of a fine red wine. And for the example of style I got, which is pretty much the progenitor of the style, is Rodenbach Grand Cru. Aged in oak fooders. I learned how to pronounce that at the Beer Bloggers Conference a couple years ago. So yeah, let's jump into the comments history stuff. This is a very long, so you might want to pause and read this. I think it's really interesting. Under comments, known as the Burgundy of Belgium, is more wine-like than any other beer style. The reddish color is a product of the malt, although an extended, less than rolling portion of the boil may help add an attractive burgundy hue. Aging while still dark in the beer. The Flanders Red is more acidic, but never vinegar-like, and the fruity flavor is more reminiscent of red wine than 𝐸𝗿𝐵. Can have an apparent attenuation of up to 98%. That is very, very dry. Characteristic ingredients, base of Vienna and Munich malts, light to medium caramels, a small amount of special beer, use up to 20% maize. That's really interesting. That's probably as much, well, maybe not as much as in Bud Light, but just imagine like one of these super high-end class beer has 20% corn in it. That's really interesting. Low alpha acid continental hops are commonly used, and it's interesting they say avoid high alpha acid or distinctive American hops. Saccharomyces, lactobacillus, and Brettanomyces, and Acetobacter contribute to the fermentation of eventual flavor. See, there was a lot of glossary terms in this review here. Style comparison: less malty rich than an 𝐸𝗿𝐵, often with more of a fruity tart profile. IBUs 10 to 15, 10 to 16 SRM, 4.6 to 6.5 ABV. So it's not like a super strong beer, but it's usually a pretty sour beer. All right, so let's dig into the Rodenbach Grand Cru. Yeah, I mean, so I'm definitely getting a lot of fruit here, like black cherry and red currant, especially something like tart like that. There is like a tiny little bit of like a vinegar kind of character, but to me, it's more like a red wine kind of thing. Not like straight like cleaning vinegar, just like that red wine kind of character. I can definitely smell that it's sour, although it's not quite as sour in the nose as some other sours and some other Flanders Red that I've had. Yeah, so I'm getting, it's nice, it's fruity, it's, getting the sour, the tartness on there. As far as the actual malt, well, yeah, I am getting like, kind of like a slightly toasted kind of malty thing in there. Almost like, kind of reminding me of like a German, I was going to say Doppelbock, maybe not like that rich and bready, but something, maybe like a just regular Bock, And of course, no hops in there. Of course, there's not going to be hops in a sour. So let's check the specs on aroma. Aroma, complex, fruity, sour profile with supporting malt that often gives a wine-like impression. Did I just say that or what? Fruitiness is high and reminiscent of black cherries, oranges, plums, or red currants. So yeah, I said black cherry and red currants, definitely. There are often low to medium-low vanilla and or chocolate notes. Well, I will say there is like a kind of general sweetness to it. I think it might be more malt than actual vanilla or chocolate, but spicy phenols can be present in low amounts for complexity. I'm not really getting spicy phenols on here. The sour aroma ranges from balanced to intense. Yeah, I'd say it's somewhere in between there. I would not say it's intense, but I'd say it's moderately strong. Prominent vinegary, acidic characters inappropriate. Yeah, like they're saying like straight vinegar. I'm saying like it's more like red wine type thing. No hop aroma, true. Diacetyl is perceived only in very minor qualities, if at all, as a complementary aroma. I'm surprised they even mentioned diacetyl in there. Yeah, so to me, it's pretty much right there for the style, and it smells pretty good. I prefer something like even like more like just in your face sour and fruity and all that, but this is pretty good. I'm gonna go kind of on the board between a 10 and 11. I'll go 10 for now. If I had to come back and give it 11, I wouldn't mind. Appearance, well, I'm not sure. See, we're doing this at night, so this probably looks brown on camera. I'll say 17 to 22 SRM, and it had about a thumb width of head, and it's like this kind of creamy tan stout kind of a head on it. That's really interesting. Hopefully it sticks around. Usually sour beers, the head just fizzles away quickly. Let's see what's going on with appearance specs here. Appearance, deep red, burgundy to reddish brown in color, good clarity, very pale tan, white to very pale tan head. That's when they say white, because to me this is more tan. Very pale tan. Why not just say white to tan head? Average to good head retention. Well, it's Rodenbach Grand Cru, so I see no reason to give it anything less than a 3 out of 3 in appearance. There it is a little cloudy, but it may clear up as it warms. Could just be, chill haze. So let's dig in to the Rodenbach Grand Cru. Cheers. Wow. Wow, that is really, really fruity. Oh man, that was really delicious. I've had this beer before. I've never actually reviewed it. I don't know how, but so this is much better than I remember. And I just did a review of an American Flanders Red last night. Quite a different experience with this one. This one, much more authentic fruit on it. Like this is almost like, well, I'm not gonna say Kool-Aid, but it's definitely, it's kind of like a sangria wine. Getting like, what did they say? Like, plum, orange, cherry, currant, like all of that. To me, it's very, very fruity. And the sourness on it is now that I'm tasting it, it's actually quite low. It's quite tame. I'd say it's like moderate, maybe even moderately low sourness. So it's like that clean lactic acidity. It is, even though like it smells like just like a tiny little bit of that kind of red wine vinegar kind of thing, not tasting it at all. Nice tartness in there, nice Brett character. So you've got your lacto, your was on here, Saccharomyces, maybe pediococcus in there. Yeah, so it's interesting because you've got a lot of things going on here. You got the fruit, you got the acidity, you got the Brett, you got the malt, which I haven't mentioned yet. There actually is kind of like what I was saying with the nose, like almost like, I don't know if I'd say go as far as to say like a rich bready quality, but there certainly is like a plenty malty quality with a slight little bit of a toasty character there. And I do taste, they mentioned in the aroma, I did taste just a tiny little bit of like a vanilla or chocolate. That might just be from the, like the rich kind of breadiness in there. Yeah, I really like the balance here between the fruity, yeast esters and just the bacteria and the blend. I'm sure this is a blend of like various, vintages at the brewery. And, so getting malt, you're getting sweetness, getting, sourness, tartness, certainly no hop flavor. Not that you need any. I mean, they just mostly use hops in these type of beers as a preservative, not for flavor. Really no actual bitterness. I mean, the thing about sours is like the sour component does all the bittering, or not the bittering, just the balancing for the beer. But yeah, this is really delicious. And, look. Nice lacing on the glass, so I'm glad I give it a 3 out of 3 on appearance. Let's check the specs on flavor. This is quite long. Intense fruitiness commonly includes plum, orange, black cherry, or red currant flavors. I agree, I pretty much get all of those. A mild vanilla and or chocolate character is often present. True, I would agree with that, mild. Spicy phenols can be present in low amounts for complexity. I'm not really getting those, but it's fine. Sour flavor ranges from complementary to intense and can have an acidic bite. So I'd say it's a little bit more than complimentary, but it's definitely not intense. So I'd say, a moderate. And acidic bite, I wouldn't say it's a biting acidity, but it's definitely, you notice it. Malty flavors range from complementary to prominent and often have a soft, toasty, rich quality. That is exactly what I was thinking. A soft, toasty, rich quality. Yeah, they say complementary. I'd say it's a little bit more than complementary, but I don't know if I go as far as say straight prominent. Generally, as the sour character increases, the malt character blends to more of a background flavor and vice versa. I agree with that because the distilled Flanders Red I had last night was super, super sour, didn't get much malt, and this is the other way around. No hop flavor, true. Restrained hop bitterness. Restrained. It's very, very well restrained, I'll say. What do they say the IBUs on here? 10 to 25? Yeah, I mean, that's barely even detectable. An acidic tannic bitterness is often present in low to moderate amounts and adds an aged red wine-like character and finish. I'm really not getting it. I know what they're talking about, the tannic thing, but this is actually fairly fresh, so I'm really not getting it. If you let it sit for a couple years, you'd probably get it all kinds of way. Prominent vinegary acidic character is inappropriate. Yeah, I'm not getting vinegar. Diacetyl is perceived only very minor qualities, if at all, as a complementary flavor. Not getting any buttery things. Balanced to the malt side, but dominated by the fruity, sour, wine-like impression. I agree with that like 100%. The only thing I'd say is that they mentioned phenols on here, not getting those, and they say restrained hop bitterness, and to me it's like super, super restrained. I am tempted to go full 20. I think I might say 19. Let's say 19. Mouthfeel. I put it about a medium body. It's very kind of soft, creamy texture. Carbonation's pretty low on it, but it doesn't feel flat or water or anything like that. Very, very drinkable. It's actually kind of refreshing while it's in the mouth. And it's not too strong. It's only a 6% ABV. So, I mean, I wouldn't exactly session this, but, definitely not going to have any problem drinking one bottle by yourself. In fact, I would want to throw another one back after this. I could have drank an entire 750ml by myself. Maybe I will someday. But, so let's check specs on mouthfeel. Medium-bodied, true. Low to medium carbonation, true. Low to medium astringency, like a well-aged red wine, often with a prickly acidity. It's a very brief kind of, just that tart kind of astringency as it's going down. But, finish is very, very clean. Deceptively light and crisp on the palate, although a somewhat sweet finish is not uncommon, true. So I'm going to say the full 5 out of 5 on mouthfeel there. Overall impression, well, I mean, obviously, I'm going to say the full 10 out of 10. Like, this is... I mean, it's the progenitor of the style, and, like, this is a fairly fresh version, and, it's pretty much perfect in my opinion. Total score of 47 out of 50 for Rodenbach Grand Cru. And it's not even too expensive either. I think it was only like $5 or $6 for this bottle, and it was like $8 for 750ml, which I should have got that, but maybe I'll get another one next time at Total Wine. All right, so I'm going long, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.